Hey, we're live. How about that? Push a button and the thing goes live. Who'd thunk it? So yeah, I guess tonight we're going to talk about the Flying Dutchman Part 2. So we have our usual list of suspects here. We got Stormcatcher.
Hello, everyone.
We got Chuck.
Hello, everyone.
We got Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
We got Simba.
Hello, everyone.
And we got Ross.
Good evening, y'all.
All right, so take it away, Ross. You're in charge tonight.
Oh my.
Hey, don't you like the way I just throw you under the bus right as soon as the show starts?
Yeah. All right. Well, tonight, tonight we have the special event, Flying Dutchman returns, and to start it off, I guess I can tell you how I'm doing. When I started off the Flying Dutchman returns with a pretty, in all honesty, pretty crappy attitude. I went out and I hit, I believe, I believe it was a 14, a target 14. Now by myself and solo, and I'm not really a good. I'm not. We all know this by now that I'm not really the best PvE player there is in the world. So at any rate, I went out there and hit the level 14 with my fleet, and I seem to have taken like, oh my gosh, a large amount of damage. I mean, hours and hours. So I thought, well, this event really isn't for me. I wasn't disappointed a great deal because I'm not out any money. I'm not really out anything. I didn't build a fleet that didn't not work. You know what I mean on that aspect. So I parked it, and then I let the day go by, and I started working on my weekly, and that was going okay. And then I started seeing my teammates, and they were working together. And just that happens to be the 55. And I noticed that they were really enjoying themselves. Now they were taking some damage, but they were enjoying the teammate aspect of the thing. And I got drawn into that. Another mate of mine said, "Hey, jump in here and let's kill some of these 55s." I threw a crew on, and I brought my silverfish fleet in the 55 there with him, and I got to tell you, I had a lot of fun with another comparable driver to equal or better skill, so that they could also do the correct movements and drive correctly. It became entertaining. I made large bursts without coining, but I could get 100,000 chunks at a time before I repaired, and so in fun with my teammates. So my whole opinion on this entire event changed after I got lured into it. So with hitting it with not solo, so I'm sitting at 700K, and so I'm pretty happy now. That's where I'm at, and so where's everybody else at?
10K. I hit a 14 just to try it, so I could chat about it. But I took about 1.5 hours damage. That's what I was saying. It wasn't great. I just tried one. Can I ask what crew you was running?
I tried a bunch of different ones. Sea Serpents is what I was just threw on there to the most. It ended up being that the crews weren't really saving me the most. If I wanted to, it didn't really matter, in all honesty, unless I was wanting to throw a legend on where I could see some difference in some activity. But I didn't need to, and I really was getting to one about a coin damage. We were each getting about a coin damage doing the 55. But I wasn't. That's per target, and sometimes when I'd look down, I'd get like 2 coins damage. Now, I'm not a time guy that much. I'm a coin. That's how I know my damage amounts. But yeah, that's a heck of a lot less than I was doing solo, and that's in my realm of where I don't mind, even if I were to coin it. That's still in my entertaining realm of okay and fun for me. If I lose a fleet in a target, that's just not fun for me. But you know what I mean? If I can continue on, I got 100K out of a fleet each time. That without without even close to losing the fleet. So that to me, that works.
For me, it's not that I didn't really want to do it. It's that I didn't see there was much in it for me, apart from a few skins, which it's like, do I want to put this time and effort in to win a few skins? I know there's a few crews out there, but I've already got those to be honest. So that was the only reason I haven't really participated in it. But I like what you're saying, and I might have a go at it tomorrow. Throw a crew or two on and have a little go at it. For the fun aspect, I've got enough coins sitting there, just to have a bit of a play with it.
Yeah, and that's what I go for that reason. In all honesty, because I'm with you on the prizes. It doesn't have any prizes that shock me. It would be great if I opened up and got a Magic Legend crew, like I've seen a couple people, but the chances of that are so slim. I don't expect anything like that. And in fact, I have the skins, and some of the things are I kind of take it as a trick or treat type thing. So some of the payouts I believe are tricks. Like I've gotten 1 uranium, I believe. Honest, the payout 1 uranium.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Right. So when it comes to crews, do you have to space for that crew, or will it let you have 51 if you were to open and win one?
I have had space, so if somebody else can let me in. Simba, here we go.
What?
Now here we go. Take away Simba. Now, if you get the cruise from rolling, can you go overfill on the cruise?
No.
Okay.
So you've got to make space before you try and open. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm deleting anything below a 2-star.
Yeah. So that's
hang on. Because the way it's always been was you can only get up to your maximum cruise on rolling, but if you're at maximum cruise on rolling and you win a crew as a prize, it can go over the cap. Is the way it's always been before.
And that was why I was asking. Just in case people start opening and they think, oh, look what I've won, and then it gets tossed in the bin. Basically, they've wasted it.
Yeah, now I can't speak to 100% sure that that's the way it's working this time. I just know historically that's the way it's always worked.
Yeah, that's why I asked. But as we're not sure, if you are going to, I would try and get rid of some of your more common crews if you're looking to open up and hope to win a good one.
And Candy Apple in chat says yes, you can overfill because he has 52 crews at the moment.
Okay.
All right,
Good to know.
That's good.
And then and honestly, I didn't get that many crews. I mean, I didn't feel like I got them overwhelmed. I got a lot of resources, when I was just opening boxes. I felt that was the majority of what I was getting.
I haven't seen a crew yet.
I haven't only had one good one.
But
I've got a bunch of titanium, a couple of uranium, a single energy. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this?
No, see, so you did
definitely a trick.
See, that was a trick, right? And that's how I took my uranium one. And I kind of got it's a little chuckle because that was a trick, right?
Yep.
And I went along with it, but I also got some upgrade tokens.
Haven't seen those yet. Of course, I don't have the same score that you have. I only have 100,000 on one account and 60 on the other account.
Okay, well, so how are you doing?
I did 114 the very first night, and either it glitched on me or something because I was in it until the timer ran out, and I was fighting every freaking Dutchman that was in there, not just the first one that appears.
No, you're supposed to only
So I
take
let
out
it
the
sit for
first
a
one.
day.
Only the first one.
I've had that happen a few times.
I've
with
got
the drives.
Hang on, one at a time.
Yeah, go ahead. And I believe what you're. I also have had that occur, Chuck. So I mean, I do know what you're saying is they go off the screen is what happens if people in chat don't know what this is the original ship that you're battling goes off the screen and actually does not return unless you drive away from it and quite away from it across the screen, it will return. But if you don't know that, and your first time at this, the first time this happens to you, and that goes off the screen, you try to chase it basically, or do your best to kill at what you can reach, and then the more ghost ships come, and you end up fighting those, and it doesn't end. Yeah, so it's a crazy mechanism.
Yeah, it was very annoying the very first time. And then I let it sit for a day, and then I went back to it, and then I found out that it was easier to solo 55s than it was to do 14. So that's how I did all my points. I mostly opened up trick-or-treat chests, got a couple of really nice skins, got the Praetorian skins, and last night I pulled out the haunted Corsair flag, which was or the skin, which was what, 60,000 or something?
Yeah,
a couple raids ago. So for only 8,000 to buy the chest, I think that was much better than the 60.
Yeah.
And it was a surprise. For my alt, he's got about 100 and some K, and I was buying the siege chest for him. Trying to do the entire siege raid through those.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, one of the other problems that I've had is it's the drop is sort of random. So you know, I most of the time, if I'm going for anything, I like to know what I'm going for, and you know, the sort of trick or treat, that's fine, but you could end up with spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and end up with nothing. You know, if you're really unlucky, you could get really lucky. You know, but I've always been a sort of player that just prefers, like, that's 10,000, that's 20,000, that's 30,000, and that's how if I get those points, I can claim that prize. You know.
Yeah, and I think that this isn't that type of event. And
I know, I understand that.
But I am pleased with that. You can
Well, I know for me going into this, there was only two things I really wanted. Like, I wanted the Macabre Praetorian skin because I thought that one looked really cool out of all the Praetorian skins. And I wanted to get the Prometheus missile system out of the assault chest because somehow I missed that somewhere along the way. So I opened one assault chest, got the Prometheus missile system, and within 6 or 7 trick-or-treat chests, I got the Macabre Praetorian skin. So I pretty much quit after I got those because, yeah, I mean, there's a couple other things I would like to get in the assault stuff, like some more limited missiles and stuff, but I'm not going to waste my time playing the lottery, so to speak. I'm like, it's just, to me, not worth it. I'll wait and pillage. They'll probably have where I can buy them for just the points, so I'll just wait for that. But I mean, for what I did, I had fun doing it. And once, I got what I wanted, I didn't have enough fun that I was going to keep doing it, but I didn't mind doing it for as long as it took me to get what I wanted.
Yeah, as I said, I'll probably go and do some 55 co-op tomorrow. Spend a few hours doing that with some players, in the alliance.
Right. And then we have like players like Simba. So Simba, why don't we tell everybody how you're doing on this event?
Yeah, Simba, tell everyone what that mystery skin is.
I don't have the mystery skin yet. I'm working on it.
So what kind of score do you have?
1.7 million.
1.7 million. Nice. Now, in all honesty, that's a pretty impressive score. So are you finding that, why do you have such a high score?
I've been doing the co-op with people. And when I don't have anyone to do it with, I'm doing it myself.
Okay, so you're doing the 55, and you're basically finding what enjoyment, like I was describing, then, correct? I mean, if your score is that, you're having some fun, right?
Oh yeah, I love doing this stuff. I love helping other people.
Right. Okay. So this is really working out for you, and that's good. I mean,
for those who are curious, that score translated to number 36 on global.
and that's a high score. That's impressive, and that's a lot of time. So it's not just it's a lot of time.
My first day off, so
It's good.
Did anybody else feel like when they started doubling the amounts of all the chests that you could get, they actually at that point kind of made it harder to get what you were looking for?
Yes.
yeah, it is. I think I have 163 of the mystery chests opened, and I don't have the mystery skin yet. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, because I was like, they acted like it was a big, cool thing that they did by adding all those extra chests. And first thing that popped into my mind right away, because I always look for the bad case of any scenario, I'm like, well, you just made it twice as hard for me to get what I want out of these random chests.
Oh, I didn't notice that they doubled it. To be honest with you, it was my birthday on the 1st November. So I virtually lost a day.
Yes.
But at least no police arrived, so it's good. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, Stormcatcher, how you doing on this event?
I'm sitting at 77,000 now. I've had a lot of other stuff going on. I'm also running the FM. I've hit a couple of 10s, I've hit a couple of 14s. I'm finding out that I can take my bat ray fleet that Kixeye gave us. I'm taking them into the 3s and taking the 3s out with map repair. What I'm doing, which I saw other people do, you have to get right on top of the Flying Dutchman, and if you can drive it into one of the rocks that's out there, beach it, and sit right on top of it, you won't get hit because its cannons will go over the top of you, but still stay right on top of it, and you're actually able to take it out like that without much damage. And when you go in, you do have to take out the original Dutchman that's in there, and the
support skips.
Yeah, the support skips that spawns off of it.
Yeah.
So if a support skip gets stuck off to the side and you kill everything else, you kind of have to glance at your radar real quick or around on the map to find out where that support skip got hung up at and take it out. You don't have to fight all the Dutchmen that shows up in there, just the original one.
Yes, and I believe they have a flag, like a colored flag on my screen. I believe it's orange or something that does differentiate them.
Yeah, the support skip are a little bit darker. They almost like a black instead of green, like the ones that spawns in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But the general the advice, which is a good rule of thumb in real life too, is stay on top of her.
Yes.
Right. But and I've seen in chat that some people, and Carl got a pretty good lowered amount from a chest. Then I saw Crow, remember, got picked up a suppressor. And they're picking up some of the hauls that some players that are returning players or have missed some things along the line are picking up some of those items in the chests. So it's pretty good.
Well, I haven't opened any of them yet because once this is done, I will make sure I'm full on everything, all the resources and all that, and then open up a few trick or treat chests and see what I get. Because we've said before, when we've had the Flying Dutchman before, and I think the shark attack that we've had, and I think one other one, that to make sure you don't get any reses or anything out of them, make sure you're totally full on reses in your base. But yet you might get the trick one still. I don't know.
I tried that, and actually it didn't. It just didn't award you you still did. You still did win resources. It just did not award them. It marked them red on the screen. I tried that trick.
same thing as you open up an FM chest and you've already full up with uranium. You know, it just gets scrubbed. You know?
Yeah.
But I can understand the theory that you were saying, like, you know, they say, like, if you fill up, then there's a good chance. Hopefully, you won't get awarded that, but it seems like that doesn't work that way. I did try the same thing. I said, I need that one target. I'm parked on top of it, but unfortunately, I didn't corral it enough, and it did sort of go to the edge of the screen. Just snipped off for a second or two, but it did come back on again. I had to put it away, and it come back on again. But I still managed to take 1.5 hour damage. But that was the first attempt, you know. So hopefully I could do better when I, you know, hit a few more.
Now, has anybody, I know, has anybody used the suppressor in these at all?
No.
Nope.
I mean, can you see a use for it? Can you, because it, I just recall when I was looking at the event tips and recommended hulls, and it lists the suppressor.
Yeah.
The suppressor is actually really good at killing the skiffs,
Okay.
but other than that, it doesn't do shit.
Okay.
Why even have it listed if it don't really help?
Well, if it kills the skiffs, it does help.
I think, well, theoretically, the other player would come in with it, wouldn't they? I suppose, but I don't know. I suppose you could try that as a team. So if someone's got a suppressor and see how that works, you know, if it does kill it a lot quicker.
If you get shot by the Dutchman, though, you get like 2 or 3 shots by the Dutchman and you're dead.
Right. So
Yeah, and that's going to cost you more than the entire repair would normally cost you. Yeah.
Because in the 55, don't you have 2 Flying Dutchmans right off the bat?
No.
Oh, you don't?
no, we just one.
Yeah, the second one just comes in rather quickly.
Yeah.
Well, heck,
Comes in at the bottom of the screen.
if I'd have known that, I would try me a couple of 55s.
And then next thing you know, then there's a third one, and then I think there's a fourth one. So yeah, it can get out of hand quick if you can't kill it quick.
Correct.
Hmm.
But if you find even just in the sector, even if you don't know a player, your skill level, it can be fun. Because I mean, seriously, you can end up trying to, because these are corrallable things, sort of. So you can try to beach them. You can, and it always doesn't work, and sometimes it works. So it's kind of, it makes you think that you've done it well sometimes, but better than other times. So it just doesn't go the same way every single attack is what I like, so I found that interesting, that I'm used to hitting exactly the same thing hundreds of times, and that didn't occur, and look at Simba, 1.7. She's going to town.
It might be higher now. I don't know. I gotta look.
I would look, but I'm in battle right now, so yeah.
1.784.
Okay.
So when I do have the mystery skin, I didn't realize which one it was.
Is there a blitz option?
No.
No.
No, it's a grind.
Okay.
I guess the reason why they didn't put it as a blitz is, like you said, Watchman, there's not much there that you would want. So the only thing that people would blitz for would be the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing.
There's the leaderboard prize.
Well, but
That's the scam.
90% of the time, that's what the blitzers are blitzing for anyway.
Exactly. The name and lights. I mean, really. But this time they get there's a Pegasus skin, I believe.
Yeah, the top 100, I think it is. Pegasus skin.
Right.
Well, you look good for that one at the moment, then.
Similar.
For like the 19th time, the mystery skin is the green Dutchman skin.
Yep.
Right.
They were just asking again in chat, so I figured I'd throw it back out there again.
That goes on. I'm sorry. The Corsair, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So if by chance you scrapped your Corsairs, you don't have a way of finding out if you have the mystery skin, correct?
Incorrect. You can actually go to. Hang on, I believe it's on your shipyard, and if you click on shipyard,
Okay.
there's actually a list there for ship skin list, and it will show you all the skins that you owned.
And if you don't have the
Oh,
blueprint, it'll still give you the skin.
Good man.
No, it will give you the skin even if you don't have the blueprint, because I was curious about that.
Yes.
Yes, it did to one of our guys.
Gotcha, because there are several of the PvP holes, the interceptors that I didn't have, and I'm like, I wonder if it'll still give me the skin.
Yeah, he got a Strider skin and doesn't have a Strider blueprint.
I'm really annoyed that the skins don't work on the flags, and they didn't at least give us like a way to get flag skins.
Yeah, that's always been a weird thing, isn't it? Why the skins don't work on flags? You know?
So, okay, Dutchman, Ghost, Corsair. And I have it. All right. That's good news.
But you don't have a Corsair.
Correct.
There you go.
Wow.
It's not my thing.
Yeah, I've got a pilot's license, but no plane.
Exactly. Well, it's because they don't just hand out pilot's licenses for free. You know, I bet they do interceptors. So no, it's just not my bag of tricks. I have a couple interceptors, but they're probably not any good. They're not like upgraded or maxed, or it's not my fun area.
The interceptors were fun at one point in time, but not anymore. But we're not going to go into that whole dead horse with a stick again.
Okay. What else is everybody doing?
The FM.
And refitting.
Yeah. Upgrading.
Yep, upgrading here too.
Well, it's I think a lot of people are trying to figure out the refits because this change up with the Ship 5 is no longer supposed to be taking all the damage. It's now adjusted to your flags or the closest one to wherever you're hitting. There was a big discussion on it last night. A lot of players are upset because now they've all beefed up their hull 5 to because that's the one taking all the damage. But now it's supposed to have been switched up, which in the FM, it is the flagship Praetorian. There's some players saying they've been taking most of the damage, but in the Flying Dutchman, they're saying it's still the 5th hull, so they don't know what is going on with it, everything right now with it, but that's the other main topic that a lot of people are complaining about.
Yeah, so I think we need to go down the timeline on this one, actually. So in Battle Pirates next week, the pillage starts, obviously, on the 6th. As part of the pillage, they'll be releasing the War Pegasus flagship. Now, but we don't know yet the spec of the Pegasus. We don't know whether it's got better armor on it because they've adjusted, whether it's going to have more countermeasure slots on it because they've now made Ship 1, or apparently in the next raid, Ship 1 will be the ship that gets the targeting. So until that drops, we really don't know how many refits we really need to do to our Pegasus fleets. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting until I see a more Pegasus, or like blueprint before I really make any final decisions.
Well, it ain't just it's Pegasus. Everybody has to worry about that. But for all these people that's still working on their FM fleets, they've done ship 5, and now they're gonna have people's gonna be building that have to get the flagship built for the raid, plus readjust their FM fleet.
Well, I think the current targets that are out there are still hitting Fleet 5, Ship 5.
That is totally not correct.
No,
The current targets out there for the FM are currently annihilating the flagship, sometimes even ship number 2 or ship number 3.
Right, okay. I stand corrected. Thank you for that. I've not been hitting the 131s, 137s. I just still grind away at the 120 and 121s
Well,
for free.
yeah, but I'm thinking this month pillage, we're supposed to be seeing the 133 that will be replacing the 131 next month. So, yeah, everybody's going to have to try to figure that target out. And that's going to be coming along.
Yeah, I did a bunch of work on my fleet, Petroleum Weekly fleet today with Snoopy's help in chat. I got solicited his help, so I've got my fleet under control, or at least in shape, going up in for a change. I screwed it up quite a bit just because I wasn't paying attention to certain things. But
The only problem that I see with that is because the target is going to be changing in the next 2 weeks. Anyone who is refit in order to do the 131s is going to have to refit again.
well, possibly they're going to make the target similar to it, so we're hoping. I mean,
Yeah, from what I said and from what I heard them say afterwards was like the 131 is going to replace with a similar target. The 133 is going to do similar damage types, so it's
Right.
not like the new target's going to go from all missile damage to all explosive damage suddenly. You're still going to be looking at all missile damage.
right.
But I know I am one of those people. I am highly upset about the change in it because, I spent time putting armor on my number 5 ship, and it was all the old D7M armor that was like a day and a half or whatever to put on. And so, basically you're looking at like 6 days of build time that I wasted. I know I plan on putting in a ticket about it and saying, look, I want some kind of compensation to fix my shit, because you guys let it go for such a long period of time and never announced publicly that you were fixing it. We thought, okay, well, this is how it's going to stay, and we started building our fleets around it. And now once we start getting our fleets built around it, now suddenly we fixed that. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah,
But wait. Remember the 14 hours you put on the CICs for the Pegasus? They have 3 more CICs coming out. Don't know if they're all going to be for the flagship, or one of them's for the flagship and the other one's for the Pegasus fleet that we've already built. So is that going to be another 14 hours to switch them out, or are they just going to let us have the 1 second build time like the CICs was for the Saturns?
Well, I'm sure it'll be the 14 hours. I mean, I'll be honest. That particular one doesn't bother me too much because I'm gonna have my full fleet of Pegasus done, fully done going into the raid. So it's like after the raid, if I have to spend like 14 hours on each boat, I'm okay with that. But for people who don't have them fully done yet, they're still trying to work on them, and then have to change that on top of it. Yeah, I can understand why they might be pissed.
Yeah,
The way they introduced the change of the targeting by dropping out. Oh, by the way, we changed this because the update came out and a bunch of us were filing bug reports because trying to do the FM and suddenly our fleets are dying really quick when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, and then they turn around and posted it the next day, I think it was, or a little bit after when the briefing came out. So, oh yeah, we forgot to post this with it. I don't know.
A nice little backstabbing move, and there's been no compensation. But there's been TLOs. You can get Praetorian tokens all you want, as long as you spend money.
Yeah, but this isn't on us. This is on them. They're the one that they need to compensate us with build tokens or something so everybody can get stuff switched up the way they need it to be.
Yeah, and that's what really pisses me off the most about this whole situation. It's like they dropped the ball. They know they dropped the ball, but yet there's no accountability for them dropping the ball. And that's what really gets to me after a while.
I was probably the only one prepared for it because I was so far behind on my weekly fleet that I was still hitting the 120s with the crap ships, single ships. So I'm doing better now than I was, a lot better. So I'm happy about that. So I just figured I never really had. I just do the bare minimum to get by in the weekly. So I'm that kind of player.
Well, I've hit about 400 million in a weekly, just hitting the 120s and 121s.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I watch Netflix on the other monitor, on this monitor that I'm chatting on there, and I'll just grind away like that and watch Netflix on the other one, whatever I'm doing, yeah, it's easy enough to do. Multiple fleets there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hit the one. That's what I hit till now, and then but no, I just haven't been getting the armors that you need. So that's why I had to get my act together today, actually, and get a couple armors on this weekly right now. So I did.
I mean, truth be told, I probably don't need that many points because some of the armor's really for last month's raid fleet, but you never know when they might come in useful or refits and other things, or if you ever get time to do it, with all the other, because we haven't touched upon that yet, have we? The upgrade on the Praetorians?
No,
Not yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Boom, mic drop.
Yeah, we knew.
They're coming.
We knew it was coming. We knew
They
it
upgrade
was coming.
everything else.
And that means
I need more Tylenol now.
it's going to tie up the shipyards.
So the upgrade on the Praetorians is coming when?
Uh,
I believe it's starting. Well, I think the tokens are going to drop in pillage next week. So basically,
I'm checking the CM diary right now. That way, we're not just making up shit and telling people.
I don't know. It said in the CM diary about the Praetorians getting upgrades.
Yeah, we just we want to confirm on when is all we're doing. So
And hunt for the Chimera is when they start. Praetorian Hull upgrades will start and hunt for the Chimera.
So
that's the raid then. That's the
raid.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 13th. Okay.
I'm going to say it. It feels like Kixeye is deliberately having us tie up our shipyards where a lot of players are going to feel like it's going to force them to buy the TLOs. Okay? There's people like me. I've said it before. I'm disabled. I'm on a fixed income and everything. I cannot afford the TLOs. But stuff like this is going to get me behind. And others that are like me, that cannot coin or anything like that, they're going to get behind.
I just don't do the upgrades. I do whatever upgrades I can do for free, be it via, kits and tokens that we get here and there and whatever. I do that. Anything else that's on top of that, it's going to take me shipyard time. Well, fuck them. I don't do it.
I kept last week's tokens. I've got this week's chests from FM. We'll do the pillage. I'll pick up the flag, and then I will also have next week's tokens. So I should get the flag built. That shouldn't be a problem. It's just the ranking and of it. That's going to be my issue with that particular hole.
What they've been doing lately, though, with the ranking, is they've been putting the VXP tokens in Pillage itself.
Well, hopefully they do, yeah. But it's not guaranteed as yet because we haven't seen it yet. But yeah, hopefully they will put that in.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I mean, because I knew that it was coming out, I've been trying to be, saving up my tokens, and I've obviously managed to do this for as many raids as possible. And that way you're always on top of it. If you can get yourself into that position, you're virtually always in that position.
Well, we know why that one PvE weapon was in Bounty, because if I seen right, there's going to be a brand new A target for the Dragoons in next raid also. So now we know why that weapon was there, which it shouldn't have been, but yeah. And I don't know who's going to be refitting on that one.
Well, I hope they got some kind of offer to get DLC or something to get some. I don't know. I'm interested in finding out, I guess, about the lead. So we'll see what the lead entails. If can I build this thing blank? Do I have to build it out? Can it be a counter? We just don't know. So at this point, that's kind of where I'm stuck. Just continuing on upgrading. I guess the other ones, I don't have a fully upgraded fleet. Some people had a lot of tokens.
I don't either.
But I'm getting there. I have 4 bill, so I'm ready.
So, I've obviously been thinking about the flag, if that's the one that's been targeted. Okay, excuse my ignorance on this one. Because I forget, because it was so quick doing the VXP before. Is evade really going to work on this one? Because I was thinking, obviously, try and get as much evade on it as you can, and counters on it, because you obviously want it to stay in the battle as long as possible. So, you guys, you thinking like as much evade as you can get on the flag, or
have to see the stats first.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's stopping players from trying to take a wild guess at it. Is going to be what are the stats and the armor that's already on the flag.
I mean, if they are going to target the flag, obviously they need to boost up the armor anyway, or so parts of it,
And plus, we don't know what these targets are going. With them supposed to be changing to the flag, we don't know if it's going to glitch, if it's going to actually. We're going to have a problem with the targets because maybe there's a slight miss up on getting everything fixed. So it could be this new raid coming up with all these changes and that might be a real pain in the neck to everybody.
Well, don't fear. HTML5 will fix everything.
I just don't know why they can't take the damage that the ship deals, that whatever ships that we'll be fighting against or turrets we'll be fighting against. Why can't they split that down to percentage-wise to each hull that you bring in? So if you hit the target with 5 hulls, whatever turrets you face and whatever ships you face, each one should hit each hull. Each hull should receive 20% of the damage equally, and maybe just take, or say maybe the flagship gets 25%, and the other 75% gets broken down between the other 4.
I'm going to argue against that. See, I don't agree with that. I could see the logic what you're saying, so that just one ship isn't being purely targeted. But then if you're trying to build a defensive hull and you can get creative and build one with high evade and better armor on it, it's going to hold up much longer and it'll do much better. You know, it allows you to do more of a creative build to some extent, rather than just make them all a blanket single, you know, cookie cutter build. You know, because if you could make a high evade build, it might last a lot longer than if they was all taking 20% flat damage.
That's true. But somebody did state last night that it seems like Kickside's going back to the way everything was before survivability came out. You know,
as far as what?
Damage. Because, Ship 5 was taking all the damage. Originally, it was the flagship. People were complaining about it. They supposedly switched it. I don't remember when, with survivability. So the 5th ship started taking everything. Now they're switching it back to the flag. It just seemed like they're going back that way to percentages instead of trying to work it out with survivability. It was suggested to go back, leave it the way it was before, and then come up with a better idea, and then get players, players like Damnation, Hefe from the other show, maybe Watchmen or a couple other people, to go on a test server and actually test it out the right way instead of just dumping it on us and say, here's what we done, have fun.
The problem with that is the fact that before survivability was added, the flagships had more armor and were worked out in a different way. And when they went to survivability, we lost all that beef on the flagship. So now, as you can see, the ships are dying a lot quicker.
Yeah. So hopefully, if they're going back to Plan A, where the flagship takes the damage, then hopefully the flagship that they're releasing will be fit for purpose, yeah, and will have a lot more armor, deflection, survivability. It'll be fit.
Well, see, like the even bigger problem that I think a lot of people are overlooking is when it was your 5th hull that was taking all the damage. Not only did you have the option to make the 5th hull the tank, which you still have that option with the flag, but unlike the flagship, the 5th hull, you could rotate and you could move after your 5th hull was way down in damage. You could move the 4th slot to the 5th slot, and then the 3rd slot to the 5th slot, and the 2nd slot to the 5th slot. You can't do that with a flagship.
No, that was another point, but
We'll see.
Very valid point. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said no. That was another point. Good point. Very valid point. You know what I mean? You could sort of rotate the fleet around. Of course, if it's just the flagship taking the damage, you can't rotate a flagship.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with the Pegasus because they've got 2 armor slots. Okay.
But we don't know what the flag's going to have yet.
Yeah. But that was coming down because people were saying the armor don't work. Now, did they get that worked out? Where the armor is actually working now? Or if that's still not working right?
I can answer that in all honesty, straight up. And because I was one of those people that said the armor did not work. And I got it totally proven by math that the armor does work. All the armor does work. It was always working even when I thought it was not working. What is missing is my expectation on what I thought of how much that armor should do versus what is actually being done.
Now, see, I'd be very interested in knowing where you got this information from, because I got it straight from Kickside that the armor was not working on the Praetorians and that they were looking into it.
Okay, I don't have a singular hull issue. I never have had a said I've got a hull and is the armor working. So, but I've said I don't think my armor's working. In general.
Okay, so you were talking about in general as opposed to one specific hull. Gotcha.
Sure.
Yeah, because I know I've said all along that the armor works fine. It's the armor on the Praetorian that doesn't work. I've been saying that for months now.
What was it, Pete?
Yeah. So in general, so but so I have to explain it though. In general, though, the number wise, I know we.
Give me a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, I feel that we 25 million points, the FM, a lot of time earning these things, a lot of work. There are a lot of expense for the armor, and then with a large build time, and then you end up with this very small difference in damage, but small.
Hey guys, I got to run for a few minutes. I'm just going to mute myself, and I'll be back when I can.
So, but that's the situation. Is I was getting a small difference. I was not getting zero difference. I was getting a small difference, and my expectations thought, I should be getting greater than I was.
Yeah. You that's it. I mean, the amount of effort you have to put into win the armors, the amount of time it takes refitting them. You would expect a better percentage of survival, or or lesser amount of damage taken than what we're actually seeing.
Yeah. And so what I was going right off the mouth, going, this armor doesn't work. The armor doesn't. I'm just on all kinds of hulls in general, basically, because I was seeing, maybe like a 10-minute difference. You got to be kidding. And I really I do feel that I'm doing more effort and I'm putting more into it than I'm getting back on the armor payout.
I'm still very curious, and I keep meaning to ask Kix this, but I keep forgetting. And then when I do think about it, none of them are on. But if there is actually a cap to survivability.
Okay, I watched that topic go up in Discord, and they said there is zero cap to survivability, but I would like to know. But I didn't ask that question. I just watched it.
Yeah, because we were speaking about that last week, and I was saying, if I put both of the was it the pen armors on my build, they were both. It was getting around just under 500 survivability for both, the damage types, yeah. Which is, to me, that seemed like a pretty well balanced sort of fleet. But as we can't, it's hard to quantify what survivability really is. That's the thing. It's like an imaginary number out there, isn't it? Well, how much damage are they really kicking out of us? So,
Well, I'm still holding off. I have no armor in my Praetorians.
Nothing. Even the lead?
Nope, nothing. I'm waiting to see what this 133 target will be, and then I will decide whether I put anything on it.
You have courage.
I'm working on my Pegasus fleet.
No, I
we're also hoping that MDS3 works in the next raid series, because we're all dropping them on, and they've been a complete disaster in the past, haven't they? So.
Well, we've got a Gale 4. Are they going to drop an MDS4 on us? Because it's an assault target.
I'm ready to call it an entire countermeasure debacle. I mean, I don't know. Countermeasure thing is a giant debacle for me. I feel like, what the heck? If it says missile, shoot missile. Shoot all missiles, or don't, or tell me on the print which one does and which one it doesn't. So
I think half the time the designers don't even know what their countermeasures do.
well, no, team, like, I don't know, what we're on now, Team F, you know, Team A, B, C, D, E, and have gone, and now we've got Team F in, you know, and they haven't looked. It's like, oh, they're supposed to do that. Shit, you know. I don't know, things just don't seem to work as they were intended to, you know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I really miss GDR and Robot because they at least knew how everything worked.
Well,
For Adam in chat, I do not do 137s because the fleet will just be destroyed the minute I walk into it.
And that's why a sad git like me is still just going an auto in 120s and 121s for free repair.
but you just can't get enough points, really, or the seat time is amazing that you have to put in, really.
It is. I won't lie to you. It is. But you know, if you can do something else in the meantime, you know, what are you doing, like your TV time, or you know, if you're watching it on one screen and you grind it away on the other, it can.
Oh, yeah, I could see that, and or even on the app.
131s, I do 3 or 4, and then I let the fleet overnight repair. You got 6 days to do it. You don't have to do it all in one day.
Oh, game crashed. Good job on an auto, isn't it?
So our very next thing we have here in the game is pillage. Is that how it works out?
Yeah, we got pillage next week.
Same day as FM.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we got?
So your Praetorian fleets will be doing double duty.
And there's a Feast or Famine TLC as well. What's it called?
Yes.
Yeah, so next week we can kill our fleets twice as fast.
No, you're
Yeah, Feast or Famine TLC. But yeah, we got pillage starting on the 6th, Wednesday the 6th of November. And that's, as I said, where we're going to pick up it does say in the actual thing, the heavily armored War Pegasus,
yeah.
you know. So hopefully they have tailored it, you know, to take more damage as we know that it's going to get targeted, yeah. So, you know, hopefully the survivability will be better.
Well, sure, it could go really, in all honesty, it could go well. I mean, they did this by design. They changed this now by design. They're also releasing this hull right now on their time frame. So, I'm you know, come on. It might work out. All we really needed to do is have heavy armor points built in, correct? And low repair.
Low repair, don't count on that.
Heavy built-in armor points. Yeah, right? I mean, that's it.
Well, the Praetorian flag upgrade might be the problem solver for everything. Maybe.
A lot of it's still going to have to be on the build, too, though. You can have a shitty build, pardon my language, and have it upgraded and it sing just as fast as an unupgraded one.
Not always the case. We've had actual events where you could build a hull blank and leave it in the corner, and its effects would carry over to your other ships. So, and that's a possibility. You know, for those
No, if only the effects would carry over after the flag dies.
yeah, that'd be all right. But you know what I mean. So we just don't have a clue on anything. So it's all in the air. It could go really well.
It does actually say in the brief that it's heavily armored, so that would obviously reads to me that it's going to have much more armor than the regular like Pegasus hull, you know.
And that would make the difference, and that would help, you know.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, let's hope they can get something to get the balance right. You know? All those taking bets.
It won't be right.
I'd hold my breath, but I'll turn blue.
As long as it's not horrible, you know.
I'm 16 under.
So Simba, have you been doing the event this whole time? We've been
Yep.
on the.
So before I pull the plug, anybody have any last minute things they wanted to talk about or chat? You can use this opportunity to type in anything that you want us to talk about that we haven't. Bueller.
Tumbleweed.
And me, I can say thanks to Nopavos and Snoopy out there for helping me with my weekly fleet. So that's it.
I'm looking at the peanut gallery. I don't see any questions.
Neither am I.
Oh yeah, Carl is pointing out that a lot of non-garrison fleets can work in the low FM targets now, the ones underneath 111. Not sure whether that was intentional or whether it was a glitch, but that's the fact that pretty much any fleet can work in the low FM targets now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I have a returning player after years, and they're able to hit the smaller FM targets. Good thing. It's all right.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing anything else for chat, so you guys are rather quiet on additional things to talk about too. So we're gonna call it.
All right.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good. Good night, all.
Good
Good
night.
night.
As always, thanks for coming out and supporting us, guys, and giving us your thumbs ups and your likes and your shares and all that fun stuff. And we will see you next week when we will talk about the goodness or the disaster, which is pillage. It depends on which way it goes. But we'll be here to talk about it and tell you which way it is. Until then, talk to you later. Bye.
And we can talk about the new hull. Good night, good week.